Hey y'all, and welcome to the second episode of Gyaru Garment Guide. I'm your host, Katie Mendoza. Gyaru Garment Guide is your no more fashion guide for Gyaru culture and important information you need to know as a gal. This is to help build your gal uniform and so you complete your look. This is for anybody who is new to gal or anybody who is already gal and want to learn more about other sub styles. Now, today's video is not about a sub style. This is about gals who are just teenagers. So we're going to be talking about Kogal today, how to dress Kogal, and different sub styles that might get confused with Kogal. So let's start our tour. Okay, Gyaru is a fashion sub style for all ages that is associated with the bold outfits, hair, and along with extreme makeup. The sub style was formed to rebel against the stereotypical Asian and Japanese beauty, fashion, and culture, and to not fit into the stereotypical Asian beauty standards and stereotypical roles of women. Excuse me. So, here is a brief history of Gyaru. I believe that, in my opinion, there is a misconception about Japanese beauty and fashion. So, I feel like everyone thinks, well, not everyone, but I feel like a lot of people assume that in Japan, Harajuku is everywhere. Like, Osaka, in the countryside, and that everybody in Japan is wearing a Harajuku themed outfit. No, not everybody not everybody in Japan is dressing like this, but the beauty standard in Japan was never associated with like Gal, Shibuya, and Harajuku culture, fashion culture. You know, culture Japan is known for anime, scenario as kawaii packaging, and these unique concepts and ideas. But I feel like Japan is clean girl. The Asian beauty standard is clean girl, in my opinion. And from like doing my research and just looking into different videos from the 90s and from like traditional Japanese beauty, it's clean girl. You know, having the pale skin, the dark hair, and the plain outfit, that is still technically the Japanese beauty standard. So during the 90s, it was rare to see anybody with the Harajuku themed outfit on, you know? So I bet you're wondering, like, who was the first person to put on a unique outfit? Who was the first person to be like, you know what, I'm rebelling against the traditional Japanese standards, the traditional Japanese beauty standards, and I'm going to dress how I please, and I don't care if anybody doesn't like it? Well, actually, Namie Amuro is the first gal, but I believe she wasn't doing this to create a sub-style. I genuinely believe that she did this because she was just being herself. Now with Namie, she is from Okinawa. So Okinawa is it's like the Hawaiian of Japan is what they call it. So she had tan skin, she had like blonde, bleach colored hair, and she had makeup on. So the girls in Japan saw her like, you know what? I'm going to dress like her, and they were so heavily inspired by her that they were like the first ever gals. So they became the Amuro Gyarus. Like that's what they would call them before they start calling them Kogal. So how she dressed and how she had her makeup and how she had her tan skin, they ran into the stores like, we need to start dressing like her. So she actually popularized like platform boots. And I actually started wearing like platform shoes because I used to see gals wear them when I was little. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love that. So I started wearing platform boots because of them. But little did I know, she was the one that popularized these platform shoes. So not only did she influence girls in Japan, she also influenced girls internationally. So the girls, they would tan their skin, bleach their hair, and put on their white makeup and hit the road, okay? And yes, she is retired, and she has become one of the most successful J-pop singers of all time, but her influence still lives on to this day. These girls, these Kogals, wanted to look like the typical Valley girl aesthetic that we have here in America. You know, that's bleach blonde hair, tan skin, colorful outfits. So they intertwine Japanese and Western culture together to create their outfits. I also want to clear this up before we get deep into the video. I did not mention this in last week's video because I kind of felt like with Himikaji, you don't think about this. So as for 2026, gal is not about breaking rules or being a rebel, you know, in that type of way. I feel like back then, okay, the middle schoolers and the high schoolers, they were breaking the rules. They were legitimately breaking rules. And that now being a gal is not about breaking a rule. It's like a literal rule or a literal law. That's not what it means to be a gal. Like, too many people be focused on that. So, I'm breaking rules. That means I'm gal. It's 2026. Not maybe in 1996, in 2006, but not in 2000, and not in 2026. It's about being yourself and not letting anyone bully you into being socially acceptable, or stop doing what you love. Stop doing what makes you you. And not letting anybody telling you that being a gal or liking K-pop is strange and weird. And honestly, I think about the scene kids, they were bullied because they dressed differently. And I know, like, it was people that stopped dressing like that because they felt bullied. And as I was doing my research, I was reading on one Gyaru model. She stopped dressing like that because she was being bullied. And being a gal is going against being socially accepted. It's against the social norms, being yourself, going after what you want in your life, and it's truly being you. And I was made fun of for dressing like this in high school. And I continue to wear my platform shoes. I continue to wear my outfits. I continue to be myself. Yes, it's painful, and yes, it hurts to be bullied and picked on just for being yourself. But don't let that stop you. So being a Gyaru is not about rebelling and breaking the law. No. Be your own kind of beauty. Not letting anyone tell you to play it safe with life, or just stop with all your dreams, or just stop being delusional, and you need to be realistic, you know, and don't care about being seen as desirable or attractive. I am rebelling against the beauty standards in society and my community. You know, I've been made fun of this, you know, it's like, well, I like dressing like this. You're not going to stop me. You know, I don't care if you like it or not. This is my life. So the term Amuro isn't popular now. I just said that. So Ganguros and Kogals are like one and the same. Like I said, Kogal is not a sub-style, but Ganguro is a sub-style. But when I look at the pictures of Kogals and Ganguros, they both have similar, like, styles. So they have medium to tan skin. The makeup is usually white eyeshadow, white nose highlight, and white lipstick, and stickers on their face. They wear bright colors in their hair, and with their makeup, and with their fashion. And for nails, Deco nails are like neon colorways. Accessories are seen as like loud accessories children would wear, and mixed match. The shoes, of course, are platforms and less coordinated in their outfits, but that is also better because it actually creates a look. And this was my first introduction to Gyaru, and you know, like, I'm actually learning how to do this type of makeup. This is why I actually created this series, because I want to learn more about them. But once again, Kogal is not a sub-style. It was just a name for gals that were in high school. And the translation for Kogal is taken from the Japanese word koto. So they took the ko part, which means like girl or child, and gal, like, you know, girl. Like myself, there are plenty of gals that dress up in school uniforms, but you should never dress up as a Kogal or anyone underage in a sexy way. We don't dress up as schoolgirls in lingeries, like, no ma'am. We usually wear traditional Japanese uniforms, but our own gal twist to it. But later on, I will get into detail on how to dress Kogal. So, adult gals who wear the aesthetic of school uniforms are called Gyaru Sikufuyo. I'm butchering that. In the Gaijin Gyaru community, a Gaijin gal translates to foreigner gal. A gal who wasn't born in or currently lives in Japan, or a gal who isn't of Asian descent. Some people find this term offensive, but it just literally translates to foreigner girl. Gaijin gals create their own online community and offline in their country. For the most part, we do everything gals usually do that they do in Japan. So, what do you do as a gal? Well, when you're in the gal circle, or known as a gal unit, are a group of gals that come together for meetups and events, and they also have their own online communities. As I mentioned before, this helps girls create friendships and opportunities, going out to eat, shopping, taking photos, karaoke, hosting events, similar things you would do as friends. Like fun things you would do as friends. Like, girl, let's meet up Sunday, let's meet up Monday, let's meet up Wednesday and do this and do that. You know? So the gals were blossoming in the late 90s, and different sub-styles started to flourish. But during the 2010s, the gal community died out. So during the 90s, early 2000s, and mid 2000s was when the gal community and being a gal was blossoming and people were joining. But by the 2010s, people were like, I'm done with it, bye-bye. So the gal community started to disappear slowly by the 2010s. But in 2012, Black Diamond was established, also known as the Kogal. During this time, Black Diamond was one of the most popular gal circles, and so was Angelique, but during the early 2000s. The whole purpose of Black Diamond was to bring back mostly the gal community, and they succeeded. And they even had a cafe in Shibuya, which closed in 2018. The cafe was pretty successful. So, like, if you were a member of Black Diamond, you worked at the cafe. And, like, it kind of reminds me of a maid cafe just a little bit. Because sometimes they'll, like, sing and you can do your makeup for a small fee. They'll cook for you. But it wasn't, like, massive like the maid cafes. But Black Diamond is no longer active due to the bloom of Gyaru fading around 2018. And I will be doing a detailed video on Black Diamond in the future. Just give me some time. This is a lot of research. Okay. But make sure you subscribe for that. Now, you can mix and match different substyles with Kogal if you want to. You can mix Himikaji with Kogal if you want to. Ganguro with Kogal if you want to. But really, honestly, I feel like Ganguro is just Kogal, but an adult version of Kogal. So you can really be a Lolita in Kogal. It's just very versatile. For hair, blonde, brown, or colorful hair is what a gal will wear. In the 90s, Kogals wore white makeup. Keep in mind that Gyaru fashion is 90s fashion. And with the old school gals, with the Kogals, they wore what was popular. And as someone who is a makeup and fashion historian, they wore what was considered the norm for 90s makeup in America. In America, we did not have eyelashes like that. And I say that because I've seen some people say that you have to wear eyelashes in order to be Gyaru. That is false. In the picture I just showed you, that girl's not wearing eyelashes. In the videos I've shown you, these girls are not wearing eyelashes. They are wearing a mascara. Mascara was extremely popular in the 90s, early 2000s, and 2010s. I started wearing makeup around like 2009, I would say. And girl, I was on mascara. I was not putting on eyelashes. The eyelashes and individual eyelashes that we have today was nothing how it was in the 90s. And if you did wear eyelashes, they were so natural. Now, with different sub-styles, they wore eyelashes because it created the look. Like Himikaji, we wear eyelashes a lot. And if you are going to wear eyelashes as a gal, I highly recommend to get spike eyelashes because that completes the gal look. Pretty much with every gal look. And I tried to wear fluffy eyelashes with my Himikaji look, and it threw it completely off. But I'm not here to force you or to make you do anything, because there are some people on the internet and gal spaces that feel very entitled and they come off as very rude. And some people are the gal police. And sometimes you don't even know if these people are gal or not, because like nothing on their pages represents gal, so you don't even know if they're just trying to be bullies or not. But the makeup is very important. So don't let anybody bully you and say, oh, gals don't do this, gals don't wear this, gals don't wear that. And it be stuff like, huh? But I want y'all to actually do your research on gal makeup and in that particular style as I'm doing for these videos. So when people come up to you, you don't know if they're just trolling or not. You don't know if they're just trying to be mean or just trying to be a bully, or that they're actually trying to give you like helpful advice. But not onto clothing. A blazer, cardigan, white t-shirt, and mostly long sleeve but rolled up pleated skirts and a cute bow tie. And plus, I do want to exaggerate on how the scrunch up socks are just so iconic. Like, the Japanese media was talking about these socks when I was doing my research. Like, these are the staple of your outfit. Okay. And if you want to do the shoes, loafers, black or white, but of course, if you want to add like your own flair to it, you can. So this will be worn in a more relaxed style, but customized to your personal style. This means fake uniform in Japanese. In Korea, a lot of world, people go to dress up in school uniforms, but they aren't Kogal. For the most part, this became popular due to it being a hangout where actual middle schoolers and high schoolers can go hang out after school, and they would just wear their school uniforms. Okay, y'all. So that's the end of the tour guide. So here is your task for today. Today you must go to Harajuku or Shibuya to pick out a Kogal outfit. And instead of going to popular stores around Harajuku or Shibuya 109, I need you to go to the thrift store, because I know for a fact they should have a uniform section, or they should have anything related to Kogal. Plus, it's Japan, so they have to. This gives you the idea that you don't have to spend a lot of money to dress up as a gal, and you can actually use things that you already have in your home. Dressing up as gals should not be expensive, honestly, really, because Kogals were one of the first ever gals, so they didn't have a whole bunch of money. I really want you to be creative with your outfit. And also, make sure you stop by Daiso and Donkey Horte for your accessories for your bag, because you're going to need to decorate your bag. So let's get to shopping.